In this episode, I decided to do a bit of a rant from a moronic conversation I had with a massage therapist this past week when I asked them what treatment method they prefer to use most that produced the best results for their clients. And they responded with a 2-page list of everything they do and try on their clients. The worst part was that this provider couldn't figure out why they weren't getting any long lasting results. Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Treatment Revolution podcast, where we teach overworked massage therapists a new treatment method that cuts session times in half and eliminates the frustration of inconsistent results so they can avoid burnout and help more people get out of pain. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the show. So, quick story this week. I'm always interested in what other providers do for treatment and how they approach the whole process. I like learning from everyone, getting different perspectives. And usually when I connect with someone, I like to ask what treatment method they prefer to use most that produces the best results for their clients. Notice here I said method, not methods or treatments, more singular. There are some providers out there that I can't stand. I think they're just crazy, and they're full of nonsense when they say things like, I'm an intuitive healer, I'm an energy work, I like to hold space, blah, 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 blah. It's fine if you want to do that stuff. That's totally fine, but you're not going to help anyone get their injury fixed and out of pain, by manifesting over them. So if you're someone that does that kind of stuff, you're probably not going to like what I share and I teach, but that's okay. We can still be courteous to each other. Now, this person responded back, and you know what? I do appreciate when people take the time to do so. But with that, I counted 14 different treatment modalities they had. The part that got me fired up was really how they ended it. They said, you got to have lots of tools in the tool belt to help the client. I get it. I've been there. And so many providers are just stuck in this mindset of like, more is better. But the thing is, it's completely messing things up for the provider and keeping the client from actually getting long lasting results. So there's 3 concepts I want to cover. First is the idea of use your brain first. Think critically. Be a clinician first and then a technician second. Instead of asking the question of where can I apply one of my technique methods, ask what is going on here and why are these symptoms occurring? More systems, less techniques. The next concept is the more options you add, the less likely you know what's actually working. I struggle with this for years, and I still see a lot of massage therapists that I train and coach struggling with it too. I call it the treatment fallacy. We think that when we do treatment, it's either going to improve it or no change. We never consider that we can actually make it worse because we're doing too much. I always say treatment's like a medication. We want to do enough to be effective, but we don't want to over treat it. So you can actually make the problem a heck of a lot worse if you're throwing the kitchen sink at it. Next is you're just getting inconsistent results because you're doing 10 different things. Sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time you don't. And then you're like, oh, I'm on to the next thing. I'm going to do this new training, this new certification, because I got to have more tools in my tool belt. But what you don't have is a process and a system. Lastly, and I think this is the most important concept, less tools in your toolbox, but sharpen the ones you already have. Do this, try this. Ask yourself the question, if I could only do one thing, one treatment, one method to get the best results, what would it be? Really ask yourself that. And if you're leaning towards something, that's your thing. And go do those trainings over and over and over again. So many people just want to take like a quick weekend training or certification, and then they can't figure out why they're not getting results because they've never really mastered it. Don't be one of these certification junkies where you got a whole wall full of all your trainings and you're a 10 level Jedi master, whatever you do, because you're really just a jack of all trades, master of none. You want to actually have less surface knowledge and more depth. And I talk about this idea of like go all in and specializing in one area of the body. Be the neck person, be the shoulder person, be the low back, be the hip person. It's going to narrow down what you have to think about, but it's also going to prop you up in the marketplace because people are going to look at you as a true specialist. Because at the end of the day, specialists get paid 10 times more than generalists. And I always say, and I play in it in this field. I play in the chronic pain space. I think it's a really good space. I think there's a lot of people that have these problems, and not many people are fixing it. So just remember, you don't need more treatment tools in your tool belt. You need to sharpen the ones you already have. That's all I got in the episode. Appreciate you listening. As I close out every episode, go out there and just be great this week. The world needs access to your amazing treatments so they can stay the hell away from the traditional medical model of pain pills, injections, and surgeries that only make things worse and definitely ruins people's lives. I'll catch you on the next one.